Welcome to Epic Battles of GTA. In today's episode, Insurgents versus Rhino tanks. Who will win when we pit a bunch of Rhino tanks against a whole bunch of Insurgents? Before we begin the carnage, let's take a look at what each vehicle brings to the table in terms of their weapons and armour, advantages and their downfall should you ever find yourself in one of these should you have to blow someone's head off. First of all, the Rhino tank, a heavy munitions vehicle designed for wreaking havoc on those who are unlucky enough to be at the wrong end of the gun. With its rapid fire, unlimited ammo and automatic loading cannon capable of firing over 25 rounds a minute, along with an impressive turret turn speed strong enough to make it capable of some pretty amazing maneuvers, there's no escaping this machine once it has you in its sights. The overall performance of the tank doesn't disappoint either, with incredible acceleration capable of pushing pretty much anything out of its way, or better yet, running over the darn thing. The Rhino tank is a vehicle's worst nightmare, but it doesn't stop there, as this thing makes for a pretty effective anti-air machine. One shot to any aircraft and it's a goner, and with its thick armour, the tank can withstand a lot of punishment before hitting the hay. However, the tank is not always what it's cracked up to be. For starters, the machine gun mounted on top of it is completely fake and cannot be used by anyone. Although it has the ability to run over vehicles, it's highly advised not to, as the explosion can cause damage to the tank, and if you push it too hard, you'll soon hit the hay. If the tank has a skilled driver commandeering it, you better watch out because that thing is gonna get ya. And now the Insurgent. Because we've already talked about this thing in a previous episode, I'll just briefly explain as to why this thing can be a good contender against the Rhino tank. For one, its armour is able to withstand more explosions than any other vehicle in the game. It's also pretty darn fast for such a heavily armoured vehicle, so once the Insurgent gets close to a target, the driver and any passengers on board can unleash a barrage of sticky bombs to quickly dispatch their target. It'll all be up to whether the Insurgents can get close enough to deal the damage, which is where we now get ready to begin the fight. For the first battle, it's going to be 6 tanks against 6 Insurgents. I don't hold out much hope for the Insurgents personally because of the tank's effective range advantage, but let's see, shall we? Ooh, and that didn't go well for the Insurgents at all. A totally flawless victory for the tank there. The arena we've pit them up against each other in favours the tanks much more due to the open space of the arena, giving the tanks more than enough room to utilise their main guns with extreme prejudice. So, for the next battle, let's outnumber the tanks 6-3 and see how the Insurgents fare this time. Okay, make that 5-3. And that battle went a little better. Still, the tanks won very strongly there, losing only one of their comrades in the battle. Clearly, the Rhino tanks, despite the Insurgents having amazing explosive armour, are just too overpowered against them. So now, let's see how many Insurgents a lone tank can take on, shall we? It'll be like pitting a tiger against 2,000 kittens. How many can it eliminate? Oh man, that didn't go too well for the tank there. Once it was overwhelmed by the insurgents circling around it, it never stood a chance. But we're not done yet, as we're going to give the lone tank another chance for victory. Or at least get a baseline to see how many insurgents the tank can blow up before it gets eliminated. Hehehe. And there we have it, guys. From our conclusive testing, if we pit up a tank against a whole bunch of insurgents in an open arena, the tank is one hell of a fighting machine, having the insurgent killing capability ratio of about 1 to 3. I know what a lot of you will be thinking, you didn't make them fight in the city where the insurgents will be a lot better. Well, look forward to that episode, as we're going to do that later in the series. But for now, I hope you enjoyed this video, and if you did, make sure to leave a like and subscribe to the Pyrerealm Gaming channel for loads more GTA Online videos coming to you very soon. See you around!